Hello students, today we are going to start the new chapter, that is skin. Okay, skin, the jack of all trades. Okay, so what is skin? The skin is the outermost covering of the body. Okay, it covers the body and it have a numerous functions. Okay, like see it, the first function of it is protection. Okay, so it do protection of the tissues. Okay, and excessive loss of water. It prevents the excessive loss of water from the body. Okay, it prevents us from the disease, from entry of the germs into the body. Okay, and it also protect us from the UV light. Okay, UV rays coming from the sun. Another function is the sensation. It helps us to sense the things. Okay, as you know very well that among the 5 sense organ, one of them is our skin. Okay, so it is very sensitive for the touch, for the pain, pressure, for temperature, heat and cold, etc. Okay, next there is temperature regulation. It regulates our temperature of the body by preventing the loss of heat from the body in cold weather. Okay, in the cold climate, our body starts to lose the heat. Okay, so it prevents to the loss of heat from body. Okay, the next there is storage of food. It stores the reserved food in the form of fat. Okay, excretion, it also do excretion through the sweating. Through sweat, we remove from our body excess salt, excess water, excess urea and all. Next there is synthesis of vitamin D. Okay, so when in the exposure of sunlight, this skin synthesize the vitamin D. Okay, next here, grip, skin of palm and fingers. See, palm and fingers having lots of ridges and grooves, so that it forms the grip. Okay, so that we can hold anything in our hands. Okay, next there is structure of skin. Structure of skin, it is divided into two parts, that is skin proper and derivatives of skin. Okay, so skin proper is divided into two layers, that is epidermis and dermis layer. Okay, epidermis is germinative layer. Okay, that means it produces new cells of the skin. Okay, so it can burn out the old skin and produce new skin. Okay, new cells of the skin. Next there is dermis. It is elastic fibers. It is very elastic and contains blood vessels and nerves. Okay, then the epidermis will be above, dermis will lie below this. So germinative layer, upper layer will do not have the blood vessels. This dermis layer will contain blood vessels. Next there is derivative. Derivatives are like hairs, nails, mammary gland, sweat gland, sebaceous gland. These all are the derivatives of skin. Okay, so firstly we will talk about epidermis. So epidermis having the 3 regions. Okay, epidermis is the outer thinner part of the body. Okay, it's outermost thinner part of the body. It is formed by the stratified epithelium. You have learned about these tissues in the chapter tissue. Okay, if you have remember that what are the stratified epithelium. Okay, so it piled up layer by layer. Okay, at places the epidermis becomes thick and hard at palm, soles and heels. So palms, soles, heels, at this point this epidermis is very hard. Okay, so it having 3 regions. First one is outer cornified, middle granular and inner Malpighian. Okay, cornified layer, granular layer and then Malpighian layer. Okay, now what is the cornified layer? Okay, first we will talk about cornified layer. Is the outermost layer consisting several piled up layer of flattened dead cells. Okay, this cornified layer consists of dead cells. Okay, at the top of the skin there is a dead cell, that is called cornified layers. Okay, so these cells are made up of fibrous structural protein called keratin. Okay, the hard cells, the dead cells are made up of the keratin. The keratin protein is in your nails, in your hairs. Okay, So due to this keratin, they are dead cells. Okay, it are continuously worn away and shed. They are continuously shed. Okay, we cut our hairs, we cut our nails, but they again and again they grow up. Okay, it offers resistance also for the three things like mechanical damage. If there is any mechanical damage to our body, it will resist to it. Next, there is bacterial infection. Bacteria cannot easily affect us due to this layer. Loss of water by evaporation, and it also prevents the excess evaporation from our body. Next, there is granular layer. It's very thin middle layer consisting of three sublayers of flattened cells. Okay, it gives way to go inside for the first layer, cornified layer. It is very thin and contain sublayers also. Then next there is Malpighian. Malpighian layer is germinative, that produces new cells. Okay, it is innermost and its cells can actively produce new cells. Okay, so this was the epidermis. Okay, here we have I have found the diagram. This is epidermis part, this is dermis part. Okay, so this upper part is called cornified layer. Next there is this one part is called the granular, and this one is the Malpighian, and the below part is the dermis. Okay, at this point we contain the blood vessels and the nerves. Okay, from here the hair shaft starts to grow. Next there is coloration of the skin. For the color of the body, there is a pigment called melanin. Okay, it is responsible for the color of the body. As melanin, those persons who having melanin in large amount, they are darker in color. Okay, and those in which melanin is less in amount, they are fair in color. Okay, but coloration is somewhat genetic also. Okay, like African Negroes are genetically dark in color. Okay, and Europeans are whitish in color, and Indians are intermediate. Okay, then color change also may occur by the sunlight exposure. If you if you are standing in this sunlight for a long time, you will feel tan in your skin. Okay, so it will remove after the exposure will be off. Okay, next there is abnormal conditions of skin, that is leukoderma and the albinism. So leukoderma is also called vitiligo. Okay, in this condition the melanin is lost from the larger in the body. From some points the melanin get lost from the body. Okay, so that at that points the white colored large patches, you can see the patches on that person. Okay, white colored patches on the body. Okay, next there is albinism. In albinism there is a complete loss of pigmentation from the body. Okay, complete loss. So in this condition the person will see pinkish in color, due to the blood vessels. Okay, the blood vessels directly you can see directly blood vessels in their body. That's why they look pinkish in color. Okay, because their actual skin color is lost. Okay, this condition is called albinism. Okay, I hope you are getting. This topic is dermis. Okay, so dermis is the inner thick layer of connective tissue made of elastic fibers. Okay, dermis lies below the epidermis and it is very elastic. Okay, and it's tough and flexible. Okay, at certain places dermis is also thick, like palms and soles and heels. Okay, it contains blood vessels and nerves. Okay, and then they contain nerve fibers, sensory organs, hair follicles, sweat glands, and etc. Okay, so the outer region of the dermis contains numerous papilla. Okay, there are some structures in this part that is called papilla, which contains the nerve fibers. Okay, and it contains blood vessels, blood capillaries. Okay, it contains the blood capillaries, so it is called papilla. Okay, the nerve ending and the sense organ are here concerned with the touch and pain. So nerve endings are here so that we can feel the touch and pain. Okay, it also feel the pressure, pain, heat, cold. It's concerned with all these things. Okay, next there is derivatives of the skin. So derivatives of the skin are hair, nails, sebaceous glands, sweat glands, and the last mammalian glands. These are the derivatives. So firstly talk about hairs. Hairs, you know very well, as we are mammals and all the mammals contain the hairs in all over the body. Okay, so hair consists of three parts. First one is hair shaft, another one is hair root, and another is hair bulb. Okay, there is hair shaft, there root, and hair bulb. Okay, so hair shaft arises from the upper part of the skin, epidermis. Root embedded in the skin, okay, in the dermis part, and hair bulb. Hair bulb is deep inside the dermis. Okay, so this is the hair. Okay, the dark color of the hair, the black color of the hair is due to the melanin. Okay, melanin in large amount gives the black color to the hairs. Okay, hairs are in the all over the body. Okay, and there is a term piloerection. When we sometimes we feel goosebumps. Okay, then we feel that our body hairs get erected. That condition is called piloerection. It is mainly due to the muscles. Okay, some muscles of the hairs, okay, of the body. Next there is, okay, hairs also provide a sensation of touch. Hairs also provide sensation because it contains blood vessels. Okay, it contains nerve endings. That's why it feels the sense. Okay, it feels this. It also feels the sensation. Okay. Next there are nails. Nails. Okay, nails are hard keratinous structure. You cut your nails. We don't feel the pain by cutting nails. It having three parts also: plate, bed, and matrix. Okay, plate, bed, and matrix. So the plate part is the part which you cut. Okay, when it grows, then bed it just lie below the plate, and the matrix part is below the, like this. This is the nail, and the moon-like structure here, this is called the matrix. This is called the plate, and inside this the layer that is called bed. Okay, so nails are the dead keratinous structure. After that there is sebaceous gland. Sebaceous gland are those glands which secrete oil in our body. Okay, sebaceous gland, the glands open into hair follicle. It directly open into hair follicle. Okay, so that is called sebaceous gland. It produce some oily secretion. It is called sebum. Okay, so it produce oily secretion so that our skin should be little bit oily to evaporate less. Okay, so water will be not evaporated from the head, from the body. So that's why this oily secretion occurs. Okay, then there are three main problems related to the sebaceous gland, that is pimples, acne, and blackhead. Okay, so pimples, that if sebum accumulate at one position, okay, at one place, if there is secreting oil in your face, so it get accumulate at one position, and it's very nutritive. It contains very nutrition because it is oil. So bacteria starts to infect it. So due to the bacteria infection, it becomes pimple. Next there is acne. Acne, sebaceous gland also influence our hormonal change. That's why the acne occurs. Okay, and then sebaceous gland of face get enlarged. If the sebaceous gland of face becomes very enlarged, it starts to accumulate that sebum that was secreting from the skin. Okay, on oxidation, melanin and sebum. So when oxidation occur of this sebum, so that melanin, the color of the skin, and that sebum both get mixed, and then it gives a black color, and it get stuck, or it get accumulated in your skin. That is called the blackhead. Okay, next there is sweat gland. Sweat gland are those glands which produces sweat. Okay, so sweat is very important for our body. Okay, sweat contains water, large amount of water, some amount of salt, some amount of urea in it. Okay, So there are total number in the body estimated about 2 million sweat glands. There are 2 million sweat glands in our body. So it is important because to regulate the body temperature. Okay, as in the hot, you might have feel that you might have observed many times that in summers we sweat a lot, and in winters we don't sweat. Okay, why? Because in the hot days we need to cool down the body, so that's why the sweating occurs. Okay, and in the winters the body temperature is already low. Okay, we want to save our save the heat of our body, so we don't sweat in the winters. Okay, next there is mammary glands. Mammary glands, and this is also called milk gland. Okay, those glands which produce milk. So mammary glands present in both male and female, but in the males it's always in rudimentary state, means that they do not develop at all. But in the female at the puberty it gets enlarged and it forms the breast. Okay, which serves the milk for a newborn baby, and the milk is very nutritive for that boy. That's very important. Okay, so this was the mammary gland. Next, there are two glands given in your book. Meibomian glands. This is modified sebaceous gland which present at the eyelids. So to give its lubrication. Okay, to lubricate our eyes, it's very important to close and to open the eyes. Next, there is ceruminous glands. It is modified sebaceous gland. It is present in our auditory canal in the ear. It produces a secretion that is called wax. Okay, which you call ear wax. Next, there is skin and heat regulation of the body. Skin and heat regulation. So how do skin help to heat regulate? How it regulates heat of the body? Okay, as you know very well, we are warm blooded. That means we produce our heat from the body. So from where we produce our body, the human body are usually our body having 37 degree temperature. Okay, so it's very important to skin to regulate this body temperature. Okay, in the summers our skin secretes a lot of water. Okay, by the evaporation, by the sweating. That's why the body temperature get the low. Okay, that's why the body get cooled down. In the winter season, the skin prevents that heat. Okay, so it do not get evaporated. Okay, so this is how the skin helps to regulate the heat of the body. Okay, next there is heat production. There are many sources of heat production. How the body produces heat. Okay, there are lots of things like chemical reaction occurring in the body every time. Okay, there is cellular respiration, oxidation. Okay, so these all produce heat. Next, there is most of heat produced in our body from muscles. We do muscle works, by which also the heat produces a small amount of heat. Okay, then we take hot food or hot beverages like tea, coffee. So due to this also the body produces heat. Okay, this is the heat production. What about heat loss? Heat loss mainly occur by the 4 channels like skin, lungs, urine and foods. Skin also do heat loss. Why? Because when it evaporates the water, then heat loss from our body. Lungs in the form of breathing. Okay, it also when we breathe, when we exhale the gas from our body, it's warm. Okay, you can feel it many times. It's warm. Urine and feces, when we do excretion, we urinate, we defecate, then they by this also the body heat get lost. Okay, as they are in the body, they also are warm, and when they expelled out, with them lots of heat also lost from the body. Next, there is food. If we take cold foods, okay, cold water, then also our body the body heat get lost it. Okay, next there is temperature regulation. Main function of the temperature regulation is by the hypothalamus. There is a hypothalamus, a part in the brain. Okay, so it regulates the body temperature. How? When our body feels so much cold, it switch off the heat production. Like when our body feel cold, it order to body to produce more heat, and when our body is already hot, then it switches in the less heat. Okay, it says it's order to body to produce less heat. So this is how hypothalamus do it. And it is done in the two ways, like in the cold weather it is different, and in the hot weather it is different. In the cold weather there is already very low temperature outside us, okay, in the surrounding. We need to save our body heat. Okay, we need to keep our temperature at its position. Okay, so for that we take hot foods, and for that, when outside temperature is low, our blood vessels get constricted. Blood vessels when constricted, the blood supply will be less. Okay, the blood supply will be less in the body, and the heat will produce less. Heat will not produce much. So if heat will not produce much, then the body heat loss will also get reduced. And in hot weather there is already very hot outside. Okay, then the blood vessels get dilate. Okay, it expands. Then if it will expand the blood vessels, the blood will move fastly. Okay, and then due to this condition, this is called vasodilation. Okay, when the blood vessel will dilate, much heat will be produced, and if much heat will produce, then much heat will be radiated from our body. So this is how the body temperature and the body heat controlled in the body in different seasons, in winter season and in in the summer seasons. Okay, so this was your chapter skin. So I hope you have get an idea how skin is important for us. Okay, and there is a last one more thing, heart stroke and sunstroke. So it is due to the condition when sweat production is not in the proper condition. Okay, so if there is not sweating, there is not evaporation from the body, then we feel the sunstroke. Okay, so for this we should take a lot of water and add some amount of salt in it. Okay, so this was the chapter. In next session we will start a new next chapter, that is respiratory system. Okay, so I hope you like the video. Thank you.